Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight, I'm taking a look at the Marvel Legends Captain America Civil War series. The movie figures. This is half of the series. We were able to get a case from overseas. VB and I split the case. I took the movie figures. He took the comic characters. And I'm good with that. I enjoy the movies. The cool thing about the movie characters, most of the time, they get unique sculpts, which we don't see a lot with the comic characters. Don't get me wrong, I love the comic characters. In fact, for the most part, I prefer the comic characters, but I like having the movie characters off by themselves. It works for me. Plus, I'm a complete sucker for variants of Captain America and Iron Man. Hell, new characters, Black Panther. Hopefully when I get this open, I'll find out if I can use this Black Panther as a comic version. But if not, movie shelf, good with that. Now, as you can see from the packaging, it's your standard Marvel Legends packaging. Easily open on the side. All the characters nicely portrayed on the side. And then on the back you have the pretty pictures of them in their, moody Hasbro poses. And I completely dig the way they do the series now on the back. This half picture thing, perfect. I love this. Now, like I said, I got the 3 movie characters, which includes the Build-A-Figure. So VB sent along the pieces that came with the comic characters. He doesn't care much to build it. I'm a big fan of the movie Ant-Man, so I'm good with this. Now, this seems to be Ant-Man as Giant Man. I don't go for spoilers or anything. This is about as spoiled as I'll get, I guess. But I'm going to get these guys out of the package. I'll give them a review, and then I'll put Scott together here. And there we go, out of the package. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get Captain America out of the way because, essentially, same figure as the last one we got. The sculpt, yes, fits the Avengers look. Like I said, I try to stay spoiler free, so I don't know if this uniform matches what he's wearing in Civil War, but it looks good. The thing about it here, it's just the same costume, but darker. Here he is with the last Avengers series, Captain America. You can see brighter blue from Age of Ultron. Paint scuff. The paint on this was terrible when it came out of the package. Same sculpt, just different, darker colors. He's got to have darker costume colors to, convey that sense of dread. Is he gonna die? Who knows? And yes, Captain America just comes with the shield and the Giant Man part. He doesn't come with the extra hands like we've seen in the past, but same body, almost the same color browns. You can easily switch the hands here. The pointy finger and the flat hand goes over to this Captain America. But it comes around full circle because it goes darker blue like the Winter Soldier Captain America. The darker gray boots, but I won't go through the articulation on this figure. You pretty much know what you're getting. It's the same shield we've gotten. It's the same figure we've gotten. It's the same limbs we've gotten several times. So, range of movement, knees get pretty good. Elbows come up all the way around. This is a pretty good figure. It just seems kind of thin for the actual Captain America. For Iron Man, he is larger than older Iron Mans. Which works out for the most part, but he seems kind of imposing over Captain America. But the sculpt's there. Again, spoiler-free, I don't know what the Mark 46 actually looks like and how much this actually matches to it, but this looks good. It looks like a movie design. It looks like it pulls elements from Mark 44, 45. It's just the progression of the Iron Man armors we've seen in the movies. If anything, the legs are kind of thick. It looks like a big chunk just coming from leg down to ankle. Even the ankle is kind of, chunky ankle. Articulation-wise, he has a hinge under a ball that goes up into the head, so it hinges back. You can get good flying poses. He can look all the way down, bury his chin in his chest. You can get a little bit of side-to-side, but not much at all. A swivel. The shoulders, it has the shoulder pad attached to the shoulder, so it kind of gets in the way, but he can get up to about right there, but you can fake it by swiveling forward then coming around. So it's a hinge and swivel at the shoulder and then a bicep swivel, which swivels out of the way. The shoulder pad is kind of rubbery. It doesn't get in the way of the swivel. Double elbow, and that comes up to about right there. Hinge and swivel at the wrist. You got a swivel, then it hinges in, it hinges out, so he gets good repulsor blast poses. Upper torso has a ball joint, gets around. You can get forward, you can get back, you can get some side to side. Actually pretty good side to side. At the hips, now this is odd. He's got a ball hip and you can go forward about that much, back about that much, out about that much. But if you try to do the same to the left hip, the right wants to just pull back into position for some reason. Put the left back down, the right goes out. Not very far. I don't know. That's really weird. Swivel at the thigh. You have double knee. Good range of motion there. Hinge at the ankle. You can get all the way back. You can get forward, not so much. And then forward-facing peg for rocker. Iron Man does come with 2 fists. And they're easy enough to exchange. You just pull out, push in, and it goes right in there. And not that one. This one. But in his splayed hands, he has a hole right there. And he comes with these nifty little blast effects. Hasbro taking a cue from the import market, I guess. These plug right in there, and they look pretty fantastic. They're kind of clear. White kind of fades to blue. It looks really good. I'd like to see these in orange. Also, they unplug from here. You can plug them into the foot for flying poses. Now this, you know how in the movie he thrusts with his feet and then he stabilizes with his hands? It makes me want to get another Iron Man so I can have 4 of these. So yeah, Hasbro suckered me into buying 2 of the same figure. Yeah, stuff like that. I love stuff like this. That's appreciated, Hasbro. Now here's Mark 46 with one of the only other Iron Mans I had out, and mostly because he's on the to-be-fixed desk. And as you can see, the new Iron Man, a little bit taller. Not much, though. The new Iron Man looks like a dude in armor. And besides height, that's been one of the biggies for me. It doesn't look like a guy could fit inside. It looks just like a metal skin, too thin. This one's got some bulk to it. And then we get to Black Panther. Now this thing, completely new sculpt. Completely new body. The whole body has this kind of stitch pattern over it. It looks cool. It's something to look at all over the figure. And the mask, it's got the silver streaks, the actual ears, but it doesn't look like, you know, he's just a cat. You can see his toes, got kind of the ninja boot thing going on. Now articulation, he's got a ball on top of a hinge, so he can look down, he can look up. He doesn't get a lot of side to side, but there's a swivel, hinge and swivel at the shoulder. These are really tough to move. He gets up about that far, then he swivels around. Bicep swivel. He's got double elbow, and that comes up all the way. Pretty good range of motion there. Hinge and swivel at the wrist. So it hinges, it swivels. He's got an ab crunch that has a great amount of movement. It crunches all the way forward, all the way back, which I don't see a lot of poses for that, but good range. Waist swivel. Hinge and swivel at the hips, and it comes out about that far. Comes forward, comes back about right there. Swivel at the thigh, has a double knee, comes all the way up. Hinge at the ankle, back all the way, forward quite a bit. Then he has forward facing peg for rocker ankle. Now something that's bugging me, I'm looking at the arms and there's more meat on the inside than the outside. And this is about as far down as you can get. I'd like the arms to be further down. And I almost think the biceps are switched. I'm going to try to switch those and see what happens there. Okay, I switched the biceps, and the arms seem to go down a little bit further. And then I turned around and switched the forearms, so the hands would be on the right side, and the gauntlets would be on the right side. And as you can see, it looks a little bit better. More of the bulk is on the outside of the arm. The inside's cleared out. Making for a more natural posture. But I know it's now backwards because the smaller peg holes are on the outside of the limbs. Smaller peg holes, smaller peg holes. Larger, larger, smaller peg hole. On the bicep now, larger's on the outside, smaller's on the inside. So I'm not sure if this is right. It just looks better. Yeah, more peg hole on the outside, but it's all black. You can't see it. It doesn't matter. Here he is with the Marvel Legends comic Black Panther, and the size is about the same. It's about right. You can use the movie Black Panther as a comic version if you want. Now, oddly enough, I was reading through old Deadpool comics the other day, and I came across an appearance of Deadpool in Black Panther. It was at a time when T'Challa, I hope I'm saying that right, he had been beaten in combat, so the mantle went to Killmonger. Killmonger in the Black Panther costume, it was a little more ornate. He had gauntlets, he had the necklace. You can use this on the comic shelf if you want to. Now Black Panther comes with the Giant Man piece, and he comes with an unmasked head, which is cool. I like this. It was unexpected, but I'm always down for more unmasked heads. The head just pops off. You have kind of a mushroom peg up there. The unmasked head is a little bit harder to pop on, but it does pop on there. And it looks good. It's a good size. It fits T'Challa. For those wondering, it does fit the comic Marvel Legends Black Panther. The neck is a little bit short. The peg goes up a little bit higher up into the neck, but you can kind of fudge it back, have it sitting up there. So, yeah, not bad at all. And then, of course, if you've seen any of my reviews, you know that my space isn't really built for large figures. The sculpt is all there. Again, no spoilers. I don't know if this is accurate, but it looks good. It looks like a natural progression of the Ant-Man costume, like Scott's been tinkering with it, try to bring it more into a modern age. Not that I didn't like the first costume. I like that classic, retro kind of look. Scott working on it, not a problem. Him growing, apparently, not a problem for me. Most of the sculpt all over has a nice texture to it. The grays are kind of smooth and the blacks, but otherwise, these other places, it has kind of ribs to it. The shoes kind of threw me off. Like I said, the retro look, the tongue sticking up kind of threw me back to high school. That was weird. The helmet, you can see it's been upgraded. It looks like it's one piece now, but underneath here, it also looks like there's a face behind the lens on the actual figure. Now, as I attempt to go over articulation and try to keep it on camera, first thing I wanted to point out is he's kind of wobbly in the hips. And I don't know if all new sculpt, I don't know if there was some factory mishap or something. But yeah, there you go there. And the ab crunch is kind of wonky. It crunches and it sticks in places, but between those stick points, it kind of flops back and forth. Now the head, hinge on a ball. You can get a little bit of side to side. You can get up, pretty good. You can get down, which is good because he's going to be looking down on other characters, and then side to side. Hinge and swivel at the shoulder, comes all the way out, then it swivels around. Bicep swivel, double elbows, comes to about right there. Hinge and swivel at the wrist, so it hinges and it swivels. Like I talked about, the ab crunch, not a lot of range of movement there, but he can crunch over a little bit. Have a waist swivel, hinge and swivel at the hips, it comes up. A good range of movement there, and that works for something else. I'll show you that here in a minute. Back, not so much. Out, all the way, baby. Swivel at the thigh, got double knee, come up and around. Hinge at the ankle, and this little flat piece, it's kind of rubbery, so it does get out of the way when you try to bring it forward, but he can only get about that much. And then back, pretty good, and forward-facing pin, rocker ankle. Now, the hips coming up like that works out really well, because if you don't have a lot of display space, you can get him kneeled down and he looks pretty good, like this. Just that easy. Here he is with other characters. At full height, he's about 12 inches. Pretty good height for a giant man. I don't have a lot of shelf space for the movie figures. This fits right in. But having this giant man with the updated helmet and such makes me go back to my original Ant-Man figure, and I kind of wish we could get an update on the first movie Ant-Man. But you know what? This review isn't about this figure. It's about this one. And this works. If you wanted to have them together, you have Ant-Man, you have the small Ant-Man that came with this figure that I can't seem to find, and then you have the giant man. So at the end of the day, I like the series. I know a lot of people don't like the movie figures or don't like the movies for whatever reason, and that's their prerogative. I'm good with that. The thing about this assortment is the Build-A-Figure is a movie figure, so you people that don't care for the movies don't have to buy the whole series. You can buy the 3 comic characters, sell the Build-A-Figure parts on eBay, be done with it, be happy. Because you know I'm going to be out there looking for loose figures of new Nick Fury and Red Guardian. Those are on the list. But at the same time, my movie shelf grows, or updated rather. The Avengers Captain America gets shunted off to a box. I put the new Civil War Captain America on the shelf. Life goes on. Even if you're not a movie fan, the Black Panther figure is worth picking up. It's a brand new body. The sculpt's fantastic. The musculature, it's new for the series, or well, the line really. Use it as a Killmonger. Go obscure old school. So if you like the review, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the Fwoosh. I remember Groot as, just a throw-off Hulk villain. Groot, classic character, brought into the modern age. And then I think Gamora is the big pull for this set. She's just a needed character in a costume that's, classic cool. So, man, all together, like I said, it's a lot of reuse, but, yeah, I'm liking it.